Let's go ahead and get into the first video here on the mini free course series, support and resistance. Alright guys, so support and resistance is something that's very important when it comes to trading Forex. If not the most important thing, then at least, I think it's definitely the most important thing to most traders. So as you guys can see, this is a support, okay? Support to me, and I think this is the easiest way to really get the concept down, is that support is a floor, okay? If you're standing on a floor, chances are that floor is not going to break, especially if it's a floor that you stood on many times. Price has stood on this floor multiple times without breaking below it. As you can see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and so on and so forth right here, as you can see. Okay? Always remember one thing. Support and resistance can be broken, right? So as you can see right here, this floor broke. Okay, this floor broke. Okay, if we look at resistance, right? For me, the best way to look at resistance, the best way to remember and grasp the concept is resistance is a roof. It's a ceiling, okay? If you jump and you touch a ceiling, it's very hard to get through that ceiling, okay? Same thing with Forex. And as you can see here, price could not break through this ceiling, right? This is a roof. This is a ground. It's like a house. You're inside of a house. Price could not break it, okay? Always remember that. You have your roof and your floor. Support, resistance. But always remember these things can be broken in the future, okay? So another thing we do want to talk about is the fact that support turns into resistance, right? We have our floor. Okay, price broke below, but now look, price is under that floor, using it as a roof, okay? So picture a two-story house. You went downstairs, and that floor upstairs is now your roof when you're downstairs, correct? Now you have resistance. Used to be support, but now you have resistance coming to the downside, and now price can't break this point as a resistance. So as you guys can see, support turns into resistance. You have your resistance, support, resistance, support. This is like your second story of your house. This is your first story of your house. Okay, you were upstairs, came down, or you were downstairs here, came upstairs to your, second story roof. Okay, you kept walking, could not get through that roof, broke below, retested, and now what is price most likely going to do here? Well, price has a good chance to come back down and hit that floor again, because remember, we're stuck inside of that, that's that first story. Resistance, well, support here, now resistance, support. Okay, support and resistance is a very simple concept, but if you're new, then it could take time to kind of grasp, okay? So another thing I want to talk about is, obviously we have our resistance, but we have something that I like to call a buildup, okay? It's a buildup resistance or a buildup support, okay? And all it really is it's just support or resistance in a small area, right? It's not like this where, we have a resistance, came back, the next day even, because this is the 4 hour. So as you can see, resistance, but right here, this to me is called a buildup, okay? That's what I call it. No one else calls it that. I call it that. This is a build-up resistance, okay? Price cannot break this area multiple times in a build-up zone, okay? There's not like resistance over here, which there kind of is in this, exact spot. But realistically, this is a build-up zone of resistance, okay? We'll talk a lot more about that later, but you will see it often, okay? Build-up support. Kind of like a build-up support there. It's mostly just regular support. A double support is what I like to call this. You have your support here, and then you have another support on top of that support, which is a really good chance that price is going to continue to the upside, which, as you can see, it did there. Okay, pretty simple stuff. Again, resistance. Again, support. Support. Okay. Okay, one thing I do want to talk to you guys about, and this is something that's very serious when it comes to trading, is what the banks can do. And really quick, as you can see, we have another little build-up resistance zone here. But what the banks will do to you and what they do so good, okay? Here's a really good example, right? We have a support right here, right? This was a support. We have 1, 2, then a third rejection here, okay? What a lot of people are going to do on this trade is take a sell position on this candle here. Once price, because you could say that this was your resistance, right? Okay, so I put it in replay mode to kind of show you guys a better example, but as you can see, we do have a resistance here. Price has rejected this point 1, 2, and now 3 times and came down here, right? So a lot of people are going to take a sell position here, just like this. And they're going to target that in, that previous support zone, just like that, right? This is going to be a lot of people's setups. And when I say a lot of people, I mean a lot of people, because a lot of people see this resistance. So as everyone takes this sell here, the banks can see that. And what they're going to do is they're going to dump money in. They're going to make price shoot up, take everybody's stop loss, collect everybody's money disrespectfully, and then continue back down. Okay, so I want to show you guys an example of this so you guys can be very aware of stop hunts. Okay, these are called stop hunts, stop loss hunts. People call it different things, but it's really just a stop hunt. It's a stop loss hunt. The banks are taking everyone's stop loss. The majority of people's stop loss is at this point. Okay, boom, check that out. We wicked up, everybody lost here, and then price continued back to the downside. Okay, this is something that happens a lot when it comes to trading Forex, okay? So we always have to keep that in mind. So you would have took a loss and you never would have won right there. All right? The banks are very, very cruel and they will do that to you all day. Okay? Let's go over some more examples, right? Support. There's a little support. And I want to show you guys something else too. Okay, support turns into resistance. Resistance turns into support. We talked about that earlier. Okay, this is basically called a break and retest. So I want to show you guys some more examples of that. As you guys can see here, resistance, support. Okay, you had a resistance in this area, real quick, build up, came up, used it as support, support, support. Okay, you're gonna get this a lot. You're gonna see this a lot when it comes to trading, and you're gonna see it happen in small spots. You know, it's easier sometimes to use this tool to see, but right here we have it, as you can see. Pretty simple. Right here, as you can see, resistance turned into support. As you can see, right here, another example, you have that wick, that rejection, broke above, and then created another one. It's almost like a stair set, and it happens a lot. Look at this resistance that turned into support. All of this resistance turned into support, and if you look on the higher scale, it's a stairway. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, beautiful price action. Nice trend line here too. We'll talk about that later. Okay, boom, just regular support. Boom, regular support. Boom, resistance. And if you pull that all the way through, you can see that we have another support turning into, or resistance turning into support. Okay, very, very simple. Beautiful support here, clean support. This support ran all the way through here, showing respect to all of that. Okay, right here we have pretty much a fat resistance zone. Okay, so support and resistance is very simple. I'm going to go through, mark up support and resistance for you guys, and show you guys a bunch of examples. As you guys can see, support and resistance is huge. It's everywhere, but it's very important that you mark up support and resistance right. Okay, you make sure you find supports that are very valid, very, I mean, you can't guarantee that it's a valid support resistance, but there are a few things you can look for to make sure that they are valid, okay? What I like to see is at least 3 rejections, okay? And what I mean by that is 3 wicks, okay? Right here we have 1, 2, now 3 valid resistance. Okay, there's obviously more here, but that's a valid resistance to me because I see the 1, 2, 3. 3 wicks, okay, consisting of 2 sides. Or 3 wicks in one spot for a build-up zone, okay? Same thing with support. We have 1, 2, 3. As soon as we got that 4th right here, valid support, price went up. 1, 2, 3. Valid support, price went up, okay? Very, very simple, okay? Hope you guys I hope you guys understand support and resistance a little bit more. We will talk about it later down the future, down the road, when I do breakdowns, things like that. You'll see it. We'll talk about it more. It'll get implanted in your mind even more. But other than that, I hope you guys got a lot of knowledge out of video number 1. Let's go ahead and move on to video number 2, and I'll see you guys in the next video.